In the year 1967, the mind goes straight to that era where this car was part of open highways, loud engines, and a freedom lifestyle. This was a car that even a middle-class person could afford and enjoy the fun like a luxury car. This car model and year proved that performance is not only for luxury people, raw power can also be affordable. When this car started, the driver felt a sense of calm because its sound was very soothing, which made the driver feel that this is a true USA muscle car. Heavy steering, raw braking, and rear-wheel drive turned driving this classic car into an emotional experience, which people still remember today. Those who have driven this car have still not been able to forget it. Fuel average was low, but in speed and power this car was ahead of everyone. Whether road trips or weekend cruising, this car had become a proud part of the lifestyle, whose memories will always be remembered. People who were real car lovers liked this car a lot. For local mechanics, this muscle car was a dream, simple, mechanical, and made for pure driving. Mechanics also felt proud to fix this car. Insurance companies considered this car powerful, because it was not just a car, it carried an attitude. Yes, we are talking about the famous 1967 car, the Chevrolet Camaro, which people still remember today in the form of a legend, because today when modern cars give comfort, the Camaro 1967 gives emotions. Movies, racing, and pop culture lifted the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 from a classic car and made it an American icon, and this is also the car that appeared in many famous games. This car is remembered because it belongs to a time when driving was not just travel, it was an experience. So today we will talk in detail about the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 car, so do watch the video till the end. So let's move into our first drive. This car was manufactured by Chevrolet, which is a well-known American company of General Motors. This car comes in the USA muscle car category, which is known for powerful engines and sporty design. This muscle car was very popular among people who preferred performance and style a lot, especially young adults and car enthusiasts who wanted to make their driving experience thrilling. This classic car was a strong contender in the muscle car segment, and this model helped move muscle car culture forward. This is a classic car that shows a strong expression of the muscle car culture of that era in both its exterior and interior design. The design of this model is a great mix of simplicity and sporty aesthetics, which perfectly reflected the American driving style of the 1960s. If we talk about the exterior design, the overall road presence of the 1967 Camaro was very powerful and aggressive. The road wheels of this classic car were usually steel wheels decorated with chrome hubcaps, which gave a shiny and polished look. Tires were generally available in standard black wall or sometimes white wall options, but in muscle car culture mostly blackwall tires were preferred because they looked sporty and performance-oriented. The low-slung stance and sleek body lines of the Camaro instantly attracted American muscle car enthusiasts of that era, because this design gave a feeling of speed and power. The wide front grille and long hood highlighted the aggressive nature of this model, giving the Camaro a dominant and confident look on the street. The dashboard design was simple but functional, including clearly marked gauges and a speedometer that gave drivers full control and feedback on performance with an easy-to-read layout. The speedometer was typically circular and analog, which kept the traditional gauge styling of that era. The radio was a basic AM unit with manual knobs that gave a tactile and responsive feel, but this classic car had fewer luxury features, because the muscle car focus was more on performance and driving experience rather than comfort. Knobs and controls were strategically placed on the dashboard so the driver could access them quickly and easily. The steering wheel in the 1967 Camaro muscle car was slightly large and sturdy, usually 15 to 16 inches in diameter, with a round shape and a slightly thick rim, which provided good grip and control while driving. The feel of the steering wheel was a bit firm, which gave drivers a sense of the muscle car's raw power and made them feel a direct connection with the road. This car became an example in muscle car culture because of its powerful engine and impressive performance. This car model had many engine options available, but the most famous was the 327 cubic inch V8 engine, which generated around 275 horsepower. This engine gave muscle car lovers that raw power and acceleration that defined the driving style of the 1960s. Its engine was a naturally aspirated V8. This engine was amazing in performance, which made this classic car very ahead in straight-line speed and quick throttle response. In muscle car culture, acceleration and speed were given the most importance, and the 1967 Camaro was not behind anyone in this regard. Talking about fuel consumption, this muscle car, despite its powerful engine, was not as good in fuel efficiency as today's cars. Approximate fuel average in city driving was between 8 to 10 miles per gallon, mpg, while highway driving could go a little better, up to 12 to 15 miles per gallon. If we look in liters per kilometer, this classic car covered around 3.5 to 5 kilometers per liter of petrol, which was common for muscle cars of that era. Fuel prices in the 1960s were much lower compared to today, and people bought muscle cars not for fuel efficiency but for their power and style. That's why fuel average of muscle cars like the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 was considered normal at that time, because performance and road presence were given priority in driving culture. People enjoyed cruising on open highways and drag racing, where fuel economy was considered secondary. Driving the Chevrolet Camaro was an engaging and authentic experience that becomes memorable for every muscle car lover. It was one of the most popular USA muscle cars of its time, and its raw driving feel still attracts enthusiasts today. The braking system was reliable for that era but not as advanced as modern cars. Drum brakes were often used, so at high speed, the driver had to be extra cautious and mindful of the braking distance. The interior was sporty and functional, and the seats were quite supportive. On the highway, the Camaro gave a smooth cruising experience, while in city traffic, the car's size and manual transmission demanded more skill and focus. This car made itself not just a classic car or muscle car but also an important part of the lifestyle of that era. Whether it was family trips, long road trips, daily commuting, or special occasions, this car was the most famous at that time. Even in daily life, this classic car had its place, especially for those who wanted both style and performance in their car. The 1967 Camaro muscle car was the favorite choice of people who wanted to bring a little thrill and boldness to their routine. On special occasions, the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 was also seen as a status symbol. When people took their muscle cars in shiny and polished condition to showrooms, car meets, or celebrations, this classic car expressed their social standing and passion. This muscle car was not just a means of transportation, but a lifestyle statement that reflected the American spirit and values of that era. This car was relatively affordable at the time of its launch, which people from middle class to upper middle class could afford. Its base price was approximately around $2,500, which was a reasonable figure for the muscle car category in the 1960s. This price was set to give muscle car lovers the enjoyment of a powerful and stylish USA muscle car, but this car was not that accessible for common poor people. At that time, whoever owned this car would come to parties and such with a lot of pride and attitude. Driving and owning the 1967 Camaro was a style statement that expressed the personality and emotions of youth and car enthusiasts. Upper middle class and wealthy people included this classic car in their collection, while common people stayed away because of maintenance cost, fuel consumption, and the raw power of the muscle car. In that era, just getting your hands on this car or even seeing it was a dream for many people. At that time, loan and financing options were available to buy this classic car, but compared to today, these options were not as flexible or widespread. Back then, bank loans and monthly installment plans were gradually becoming popular, but most people bought their muscle cars with their own savings or family support. If a bank loan or installment plan was taken, the down payment was usually 10 to 20% of the total car price. The price of the 1967 Camaro at that time was about $2,500, so the down payment was roughly between $250 and $500. Exact monthly installment figures are hard to say, but it could be approximately $50 to $70 per month, depending on loan terms and interest rates. This installment amount was considered manageable for middle-class and upper-middle-class families who could allocate a part of their monthly income to car financing. People who took loans mostly belonged to middle-class or upper-middle-class social backgrounds, who could benefit from financing options because of their family's economic stability and creditworthiness. In the 1960s economic context, consumer culture was growing fast, and people were starting to take such loans to improve their lives. Financing also played an important role in the demand for muscle cars like the Chevrolet Camaro 1967, because it gave people a chance to get their favorite classic car quickly without paying the full amount at once. In the era of 1967, availability of spare parts for classic muscle cars like the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 largely depended on regional and dealer networks. Because of General Motors' strong presence, basic parts for the Camaro were usually easy to find, especially engine components, brakes, and suspension parts. But some specialized parts, like unique trim pieces or interior components, were a bit expensive and had limited availability. Because of this, muscle car owners sometimes had to spend extra time and effort searching for parts for their Camaro 1967. For local mechanics, repairing the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 was easy at that time because the muscle car's design was relatively simple and the mechanical system straightforward. Mechanics understood muscle cars' engines and components, so basic repairing and maintenance was not very difficult. But specialized tuning and performance upgrades required experienced mechanics, which was also part of the muscle car culture. Today, the situation for maintenance and parts availability for the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 classic car is much better, but some challenges still exist. Due to the growing demand in the classic car market, prices of original and OEM parts have increased a lot, but aftermarket suppliers and specialty shops provide muscle car owners a wide range of replacement parts. Parts for restoration projects are also available for the Camaro 1967, but they increase maintenance costs. Skilled mechanics who have expertise in classic muscle cars are still expert at repairing and maintaining this car, but their services can be a bit expensive. In the era of 1967, the insurance cost for classic muscle cars like the Chevrolet Camaro was moderate to slightly expensive according to the automotive insurance market of that time. Because of the raw power and performance of muscle cars, insurance companies considered them high-risk vehicles, which made insurance premiums for cars like the 1967 Camaro a bit higher compared to regular passenger cars. Back then, basic liability insurance policies were more common for muscle car owners, which provided limited coverage for accidents or damage. Comprehensive and collision coverage was also available, but most people chose policies based on their affordability and need. Annual insurance premiums were approximately between $100 and $200, depending on the muscle car's value and the owner's driving record. Monthly premiums were not as widespread as they are today, but people generally renewed their insurance yearly. Those who took higher insurance were mostly muscle car enthusiasts, young adults, and upper-middle-class families who wanted good coverage for their Chevrolet Camaro 1967 classic car. Owning a muscle car was both a passion and a risk, so these people took insurance seriously to ensure protection for their classic car. Today in the USA, insurance costs for the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 classic car vary a lot, but muscle car and classic car insurance companies offer specialized policies. Today's premiums can range from $500 to $1,500 per year, depending on restoration status, usage frequency, and location. Classic car insurance plans come with flexible terms and lower mileage restrictions, which are beneficial for muscle car owners. The Chevrolet Camaro 1967 has made its mark in American pop culture and history, which is still alive in the hearts of muscle car enthusiasts and classic car lovers today. This classic car is not just a USA muscle car, but a powerful symbol of 1960s American youth culture, freedom, and rebellion. This car made an iconic place for itself in TV shows and racing circuits, presenting the muscle car culture of that era on the global stage. In movies, the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 had a grand presence in many blockbuster films, like Gone in 60 Seconds, where this classic car shows off its speed and style. Its appearance in TV shows also highlights the muscle car culture of that time. Celebrities and racing legends considered the Camaro 1967 their favorite muscle car, which deepens its cultural impact. This muscle car was also very popular in drag racing and street racing scenes because of its performance and aesthetics, which is an important part of American motorsport history. Compared to today's modern cars, the legacy of the Chevrolet Camaro 1967 classic car is very strong. Modern muscle cars provide advanced technology, comfort, and fuel efficiency, but the driving experience, raw power, and timeless design of the Camaro 1967 create emotions that are less found in modern cars. People consider this car a legend because it represents an era, the time when muscle cars dominated American roads and made their place in youth culture. In this video, we have tried to provide all the information related to this car. If anyone who has driven this car back then wants to tell us, please comment and let us know. If we have missed sharing any information about this car, please tell us too, so that in the next video we can make it with more research. And also please tell us who owns this car nowadays. Thank you for watching.